We're dealing with some old toys today, so you know what that means. I have to go down to the basement catacombs. It's cold down there. Let's go. I'm scared. It's gonna get real dark real soon. Okay, we're here. I got it. Welcome to Corzeons, the internet's only show devoted entirely to Beast Wars. I kid, of course, not because I'm gonna shut up about Beast Wars, but because there have to be at least 80 shows devoted entirely to it. Did I mention I'm not gonna shut up about it? 'Cause I ain't. That's right, war is over if you want it, but Beast Wars is not over whether you want it or not. Merry, merry, ho, ho, 'tis the season, here on a very unfestively special Christmas episode, at least filming, Christmas episode of Corzeons. Let's hit it. Yes, Beast Wars, one of my favorite shows growing up, for me, the only Transformers that matters. Sure, Prime is cool. Beast Machines is weird. The original 80s is really 80s and not in a good way anymore. Today we'll be talking about what remains of my retro Beast Wars toys. Yes, these are Series 1-ish, all from the first season of Beast Wars. Now, recently I sold off a whole bunch of characters and toys I didn't like. That included some of them. So since this is the last of my remaining Beast Wars Season 1, you might think, surely this must be the last Beast Wars episode, and you'd be wrong! Ha! You dumb! Anyway, no, of course I have Transmetals and Transmetals 2, and I have the Masterpiece Megatron, and, well, it's gonna be 7 more. I'm sorry. Are you stupid? What did I just say about shutting up and not doing it? We're only talking about show canon characters today, not this weird one. Ugh. For instance, I sold off my Series 1 Black Arachnia, Scorponok, and Cheetor, to name a few. So, we're talking about Dinobot, Rat Trap, Pterosaur, best name ever, Tigertron, best name ever, Waspinator, best name ever, and Inferno, best character ever. Since in our War for Cybertron Kingdom episode, we just went over the romance of Rat Trap and Dinobot, so we're going to breeze through those two characters pretty quickly. Now, the rest of them, I do not have any of the War for Cybertron versions of. I think there's Tigertron and at least Rhinox. I think that there is a Hasbro Pulse Pterosaur that looks pretty sweet coming out. But I don't have any of those, so we will talk about those more extensively. Let's get to it! First up is Dinobot, and what a shitty dinosaur beast mode that is. Holy stinks! It smells just smelling about it. Yes, you'll notice that many of these figures bear only a passing resemblance to the actual characters on the show. Now, as I discussed before, in the beginning, the animators had access to the toys. Weren't exactly sure what they were going to look like and all that other stuff. It led to the first batch of toys not really being all that great looking. However, they are still pretty cool, and they definitely have this retro 90s garbage vibe going on. Dino mode, Dino yuck. This is terrible. There's similar movement in it to the War for Cybertron one, but it's just not good looking. It's got a crappy head. It's got webbed fingers. It's got a weird double footy thing going on. It's not good. Now, the transformation is pretty similar to the War for Cybertron, of course, and it's pretty similar to how it works in the show. It's a cool transformation, so let's get on with it. there we have it. You may have noticed in that super speedy footage that I broke it, but it went back together thankfully. Now in robot mode, even though it's not show accurate per se, the colors are. Even though it's not show accurate per se, it does look pretty cool. And unlike the War for Cybertron, when you press this button, he does the spinny thing. Yes! A very cool part of the show, and very cool that they have it in the toy as well. As you'll see, the head looks nothing like him. At least got the bulky shoulders, right, I suppose. But other than that, not great. I'm going to take this off just to make it easier to pose. He's got nothing really locks in place, so if you try to move his shoulders, which are very tight, everything kind of comes along with it. But he's got a surprising amount of movement, almost a full ball, bicep rotate, elbow, and nothing at the wrist, but his claws do open and close. His head's got a nice little ball going on. Nothing at the waist. We got, because it's so bulky, you can't move it too much in the leg, but there is a ball there, knee, and a little bit of foot movement. Not that it does much of anything. Yes, the spinny thing is rad, and it's about the raddest, the daddest thing about it. Now, the Raptor mode is so crappy, I don't know why anyone would ever actually keep it in that mode. None of these figures are in my case of love. They're buried away in totes of shame. But regardless of that, I do keep all of these in robot mode because they're just the better mode, and you will see as we continue. Next, his lover, Rat Trap. I really love this little guy. Now, he is a snap shell former thing where it's pretty much a one-step thing. You lift his tail up. Oh, not yet. Not yet, you excitey bitey. So nothing going on in beast mode. And you can see his whole robot under there. The feeties move. But that is it. It also looks like a very shitty rat. Doesn't look like a rat much at all. Looks more like a bear with a rat tail. But now we can transform it. You lift up on the tail, and holy shit. Ugh. You lift up on the tail, and holy shit, there's Rat Trap. Pretty much basically there already. Not much to do after that, but you can pull out his gun, if I can get at it. Ooh, it's in there. Oh, we're pulling out half his gun. We're pulling out half his gun, which has cool storage in his rat body torso panels. Now, over time, the joints have gotten pretty loose, so he can't really stand well. I'm gonna try here, at least get him standing a little bit. But it's awesome. He's little, not too little, unlike the War for Cybertron one, but you know, appropriately little. And I really like this robot mode. Not only does it look, even though it's bulkier, it looks a lot like the show. He's got the metal brains going on. He has pretty similar face. He's got, for what it is, he's got a nice amount of movement. You know, shoulders, elbows, legs and knees, and a little bit of head movement. Now that's all there is to it. But I always really like this. This was one of my favorites. The Rat Trap figures, in Beast Wars at least, have for the most part been pretty good. The Transmetal Rat Trap especially is really cool and super show accurate, which we might get to someday. But yeah, this guy's cool. I like him. Rat Trap Maximize! Gotta love it. Next up, we got Pterosaur. Great band name, great t-shirt, a great name for a gratingly annoying character. Spoiler alert, he does eat shit come Transmetal time, but he's still pretty cool. They even made a Transmetal Pterosaur figure for him, but alas, it was not meant to be. I think he falls in lava. I think that's what that happens there. Now, as for the toy, it's another one of those one-steppers, basically, where you just lift something up and it transforms. His gun does go somewhere in beast mode. I forgot where. Doesn't really matter. Now, as a toy, as a beast mode, very crappy. Doesn't do much at all. The little mouth opens on the Pteranodon. That's really it. It looks like a crappy cartoon, and it's kind of battingly good. Now, let's transform him. Hey, there he is. Boom. The end. I didn't have to fast forward that shit at all. Just like Rat Trap. Now, in robot mode, pretty cool. His little gun unfolds, and it goes in his hand hole. So, this is pretty show accurate. The whole wingage, much like Rat Trap, is much smaller in the show, and I think it's even attached to his arms in the show. It's not actually his back. That being said, really good little movement. He's got legs, he's got footies, he's got knees, he's got elbows, he's got balls at the shoulder, and he's got a good... actually, his head doesn't move that much now that I'm trying to actually move it. It moves like up and down a little bit, but the side to side is not happening. Although it does go to the one side, so why wouldn't it go to the other one? I'm not going to push it too hard. I'm sure it does go to the other side, whatever. That being said, one of my favorite earlier ones. I just really like the colors. The green, the neon green, the bright red, and the purple really look cool together. And it looks just like Beast Wars! It kind of looks really Beast Warsian, in my opinion. Next, we got Tigertron? I think we're doing Tigertron. Next, we got Tigertron. Yes, yes, yes. Reluctant Warrior Tigertron. Hey, wait a minute. This looks like a repaint of Puberty Boy Cheetor. Huh. Well, that's true. It is just a repaint. Much like Brackenera is a repaint of Tarantulas, who we'll see in a little bit. Now, I got rid of my Cheetor, as I said, but I kept my Tigertron because I like the tiger paint better. I think it's cooler. And tigers are beefier than cheetahs, and this looks a lot more like a tiger than this would have looked like a Cheetor. The color is really cool, the white and black with the teal, very neat looking. As a beast mode, pretty cool. Not as most of them, barely any movement at all. The legs move, but that's just a carryover from the robot mode. And the front arms, they move, but they're a part of the transformation. That's all they do. Now, that being said, some really cool gun storage. His tail is a gun, and his guts is a gun. They even got like some intestines molded onto there. Now, the transformation is pretty fun. Oh shit! Nobody move! As a robot, this one is pretty cool. I like it a lot. He's got Cheetor's face, inaccurate as it may be, and this one has one of the weirder alternate heads of any of them. If you rotate the head downward, he's got that like beastie head, which just looks like a monster alien thing, which is pretty dumb looking. So I keep the Cheetor head instead. Now, this has lots of good movement. Pretty much all these have the same amount of movement. Because of the transformation, this one actually ends up with a double joint at the elbow, which allows more movement, which is really cool. Nothing at the footy, just rotates at the legs. But a good amount of twisties and flexibility there. This is one, I think, of the better ones. I recently saw in the stores they have untransformable like Studio Series Beast Wars. I saw Cheetor, it looked really cool, and then I realized it didn't transform. I was like, Anyway, Tigertron is a really cool character, and he later makes love to Airazor and becomes Tiger Hawk thanks to the aliens. Not sure how that's relevant, I'm just remembering Beast Wars of yours. Yes. Next up, another Maximal. Oh, he's a Maximal. Next up, another Maximal. He's a Maximal. Next up, another Maximal, we got Rhinox. Rhinox. Easily one of my top 30 favorite Beast Wars characters. Yes, I like him a lot. Super cool character, super shitty toy. They've re-released other versions since then, I think, and I missed out on them, so I think I'm going to have to get the new War for Cybertron one, even if it doesn't look quite like the classic one. Now, as a Rhino, I mean, he looks like a tank of crappiness. The jaw opens, but that's part of the transformation. The back legs move, like a lot of these, the back legs move. Nothing else going on. I can't remember if he had a tail, or I've since lost his cool Gatling gun thing, which is honestly the best friggin' part. So I don't know if I still have that in the box somewhere, if I lost it somewhere, but that's the coolest part, and I'm sad that I lost it. Now this transformation, I had to look up because I did not remember how to do it. Again, another crappy looking beast mode, and as we're about to see, a crappy looking robot mode as well. So let's transform this monkey. Crappy, it just It's really bad. I don't like it at all. And, you know, it doesn't look anything like Rhinox really at all. He's close to the color, but that is about it. It contains all the same movement of the other ones, but because of the massive rhino junk hanging everywhere, you can't really do much at all with it. One of the main differences, it only has a swivel at the head, as opposed to a ball. And like I said, you can't really do much of anything with it. I remember the Gatling gun being really cool because it had a squeezy, just like Dinobot, where it would spin. That was cool. Again, one of my favorite characters of Beast Wars, but one of the worst toys of the line. Yes, terrible. Garbage. Next! I think we all saw that I caught it. Tarantus! You scheming spider. Tarantus, you scheming dog. Oh my. Another great character. Oh, are all the characters great in Beast Wars? Yes. Yes, they are. Okay, Quick Strike kind of sucks, but even he's got his moments. But, yes, in Beast Mode, even though it's not accurate at all, it's pretty cool looking spider. As you can see, I've replaced some of the spider legs with pieces from the Black Arachnia figure. I think they just popped off over time, and I just replaced them with extra ones I had. Still missing one though. Also, the gun, I think, is in my basement, and I'm not about to go get it just for the show. Not gonna happen. Sorry. Do you know how many stairs that is? At least 5. So, got a little bit of movement. Not really. You can rotate the front 2 spider legs, but that's all it is. But still, as a sculpt, and just the way the spider eyes look and the cool kind of translucent purple, it's pretty neat looking, and it's good Beast Mode. As a transformation is pretty cool too. Whoop. And one of the coolest things about Tarantus is that his spider legs are machine guns in the show. I think his do it too. I know Black Arachnias do it, but I think his do it too. He also comes with the gun, like I said, that he would hold in his claw. We got good movement. The only thing is, I don't know if it's just that this toy is old or whatever. It's supposed to fold down and stay. It does not stay anymore. So any kind of actual movement, you gotta like hold down on his torso while you move his arms. He's got the head movement. He does have an alternate head with a purple face. I used the alternate face for Black Arachnia when I would do it because this one looks more like the show Tarantus. He has leg movement, you know, typical of all of them, leg, knee, that's it, nothing else going on. That being said, the colors are really cool. It at least sort of matches the show a little bit in appearance, and just a great character. They never really made, as far as I know, they never like re-released like a good show accurate Tarantus figure. Again, I could be wrong, but I don't remember seeing one. And he's not, is he in the new one? I don't think he's even in the new show. Certainly I haven't seen a figure for him for it yet. Not that there isn't one, I just have never seen it. Yeah, but he's really cool, and I think I also have his Transmetal, which we might see someday if I ever do that kind of episode. Which I promise I will never do another Beast Wars episode. I promise. Next up, Waspinator. Waspinator. One of the comic relief characters of Beast Wars, one of the best characters in my opinion. Oh, another top 30, certainly. This was my first ever Beast Wars toy, and I think I got this even before I knew what the show was. I just thought it looked cool at Toys R Us, and I learned that it transformed, and I was like, ooh, this is pretty cool. That's pretty cool. So I got this right when the 2-part pilot aired, way back when, and then how it worked was the 2-part pilot aired, and then you had to wait 6 months for the actual first season to air. And in little kid time, that is roughly 30 years. So I finally discovered that it was back on Saturday mornings or whenever the hell it aired, and I was like, hey, I remember that show. And then I subsequently got a lot more toys. Now, this is, Inferno's pretty cool. This is probably my favorite Beast Mode out of all of them. It looks like a friggin' murder hornet. It just looks awesome. It's really cool. This one actually has some movement in the wingies. I put little tape on these because I felt like after a lot of playing, they were getting a little like a white spot when you bend plastic, like it was gonna break. So I put tape around it just to protect them. And this tape's been here for like 30 years. 25 years? Oh boy. Anyway, let's transform this really cool colored, surprisingly show accurate figure. Bye. His gun actually fires a projectile that is stored in the wings. I no longer have those, and boy, that loves to pop out. But that's a pretty cool little thing. Transformation's neat. Like a lot of them, just a lot of unfolding and flopping around. Pop in the gun, and boom, that is Effin' Waspinator. Again, one of the more show accurate toys. I actually like his alternate head better. I mean, this one looks more like Waspinator, but I think it's kind of ugly and stupid. To fold out the head, you pull it up, you flip it, and you pop that's gonna pop up 10,000 times. You pop everything back together, and it's a cool like Cybertronian head. I really like that a lot. I usually keep it in that mode, but for show accuracy purposes of my show, I will show the Waspinator-y head. So yeah, lots of good unobstructed movement, even if the insect legs get in the way a little bit. I mean, the wings move good, the head moves good, the legs move good. Just a really altogether, probably, I would say, the best altogether figure of all of these. And, I got it first, and it's one of my favorites for an excellent, very stupid, very fun character. Next up, next up's our last one. Oh my goodness. The last one is Inferno! My queen. Yes, my. Inferno, terrorize! Yes, my queen. Last up, Mega, probably, maybe Voyager. The other ones have been. The teeny ones, I forget what they're called, but the middle-sized ones are Deluxe. I think this was probably Mega or Voyager. I think they did Mega back then. Inferno, one! Dare I say, top 29 characters of my Beast Wars characters that I love so much. Just awesome. He confuses Megatron for his queen of his ant colony, and he's constantly setting things on fire. Just an awesome, crazy, fun character. And as a beast mode, that is effing sick looking. That looks like a friggin' huge ant bug. He's a character that came later in Beast Wars Season 1, and his toy definitely resembles him a lot more. He has one of the, I would say, harder to remember transformations, but not difficult at all. So let's get to it. I love all the I love all the translucent red. It's really not only cool looking, but show accurate. He's a bright red fire ant of craziness. So let's get to the even awesomer robot mode. There we have it, folks. Inferno robot mode. Awesome! So cool. The only thing that sucks is that he's always like this, like he's gonna grab your balls, because like there's no wrist movement, and he even has to hold his gun like under his hand, which isn't really that cool. In the show, he has like a big flamethrower, which is not represented here, which is unfortunate. But what is represented here is his sweet spinny fly thing. That is awesome. Very cool. And the cool, sculpt and paint robot-y bits inside there is just awesome. His face is pretty close. He's a psychopath, and he looks like that in the toy version as well. A little unwieldy, but as just an appearance, very cool. And probably this and Waspinator are close in terms of my favorite toys of Beast Wars Retro Series 1, and that is why he is last. I usually try to go from worst to best. I didn't do that this time because I started with Dinobot and Rat Trap, and I like those guys even if they're not the greatest toys. So I saved the best for last. All these are worth super dough now, especially rare ones like Inferno. And if I ever want to be super rich, all I have to do is part ways with my childhood soul. We're getting there. Hasbro recently released several of them, including Cheetor, Rat Trap, I want to say Dinobot, Optimus Primal, and Megatron that was featured on the first episode of Corzeons. So that was interesting to see at the store out of nowhere. I'm like, what? So that's pretty cool. So you can pick up some now if you don't want to spend $1 billion on the originals, but you still want to have the old school style. Something really 90s about these bad attitude bugs and their punk rock colors and their super 90s war bullshit and all their crappy tribal paint. It's just really rad. Another cool thing I just noticed, a lot of these have their call sign insignias on there. I can't get it to work. It's like a mood ring type thing, where if you press on it, it's supposed to reveal their allegiance. So his would be the Predacon symbol, whereas obviously the Maximals would have the Maximal symbol. And that's something that they started later on in the toy line, and I think continued on for the rest of the series. So, great show, okay toys. Next time when we talk Beast Wars, we'll be talking about Transmetals, which are very much better toys. But before I say goodbye, we always have to find out what AB likes the best, because his opinion is what matters. And I always ask him, what would you like to see on the show? He always tells me. For instance, next time on the show, we are going to be talking Resident Evil. Now, AB? AB, come here. Which one do you like best, AB? Oh, me? Aw, that's really cute. You like me best. But let's look at the toys. Which toy do you like best? Tigertron? Huh? Which one do you like? Which toy do you like? Here we have it here, folks. He likes Desmond's shirt first. Amy, you're doing really good at the picking. We did it! Finally, it's time for me to sing the a cappella version of the Beast Wars song. Ba 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 ba. Oh, Abel's helping. Fine, I won't. We just won't have any fun on the show. Is that what you want? Fine! Oh, in the mail I got another tape. Let's shove this tape in the old laptop and see what it is this time. We don't need to see that. You know what? How am I getting these tapes? How is that even happening? How am I shoving it into the laptop to get it to work? No one is answering the real questions. It's like I don't even care to answer them. None of it makes sense. Anyway, if you like what you see, please subscribe. See my social media bullshit. If you don't like what you see, please see my social media bullshit. And check out my Patreon if you'd like to do that, because I truly love you all. I think we're pretty cool here on Corzeons, and I think you're pretty cool for watching. Oh, shit, I forgot. Nice to see you, folks. You have a lovely, happy Holiday days. Yes, Boxing Day for our Mexican friends. Peace out. Thank you for watching Corzeons. Yeah! Yeah! Yeah!